Last year, Lil Durk was arrested on allegations that he orchestrated an attack on Quando Rondo, which reportedly led to the death of Quando's cousin. Now, he's behind bars awaiting trial. However, new claims have surfaced from someone inside the facility, and their account is shedding unexpected light on what Durk's experience behind bars has really been like.
And I'm feeling good, just taking it in time, just chilling.
That whole just chilling narrative? Not exactly. According to recent claims, Lil Durk has allegedly been breaking multiple rules while behind bars. In this video, we're digging into what's really been happening since his arrest and how his actions could potentially complicate his legal situation even more. For those who don't know, Lil Durk was taken into federal custody in Florida back in late October 2024, facing serious murder-for-hire charges. But this wasn't just any routine case. It's allegedly tied to a hit on Quando Rondo that ended up claiming the life of Rando's cousin, Savia Robinson, also known as LOL Pav. In 2022, the indictment is stacked, including conspiracy to commit murder for hire, using interstate communication to facilitate the crime, and multiple weapons. Charges the kind federal prosecutors are known for piling on. If you've been following the Chicago drill scene, this all seems like a continuation of the long-standing tension that escalated after King Von's murder in 2020. Von, a key figure in Durk's Only the Family crew, was killed during a confrontation. With Quando Rondo, that moment set off a ripple effect. And now, with these new charges, it looks like the cycle of retaliation and street politics is still in motion. This kind of violence, sparked by music beefs and deep-rooted affiliations, has become a tragic theme in hip-hop, echoing past eras like the East Coast-West Coast rivalry of the 90s. But what makes this situation hit even harder is that there were people calling for peace. One of the most powerful voices was Wallow267, the podcaster and activist who made an emotional plea to Durk not to retaliate after Von's death. That moment, where Wallow spoke directly to Durk and his crew in Chicago, has since resurfaced and feels even more significant in light of everything that's unfolded.
You went viral when you broke into tears telling Lil Durk not to retaliate in King Von's death.
You know, it was so emotional because Durk, he said, I need you to come here, right? He said, we could do it in Miami, whatever, but I need you to come here because I need you to talk to these. That's what he told me. He said, I need you to talk to him, Wallow. I need you to talk to him. I said, all right, I got him. And when I get there, I didn't know it was gonna be that many. It was like 100 of them. We in the basement in Chicago. It's 100 of them.
And them niggas, they ready to ride?
Yeah, no, they just was there, you know.
Okay, they wanted to hear what you wanted to say.
No, it wasn't even that. They didn't even know why they was there. Durk was like, we gonna do it in the hood.
Okay.
I want you to holler at them, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, I got you. When I got there, I'm like, he like, man, listen, I need you to holler at him. It just so happened that when I'm talking to him, I understand, because I'm talking to a couple of them on the side, and I understand that nothing is more important in the ghetto than revenge. Revenge is king.
In this powerful moment, Wallow267 breaks down the mindset that fuels the cycle of violence in the streets, calling out revenge as the driving force and naming ego as the #1 killer of black men. He opens up about his own journey, revealing how he found the strength to forgive the man who took his brother's life. His message is clear and heartfelt. It's more important to live for your family than to die protecting your pride.
And I had to, it was emotional for me because I'm letting him know, the man that killed my brother, I forgave him. Am I a coward? Am I a punk? I don't know what that shit means, but I knew that forgiving him means that I was willing to live for my brother in an environment where we celebrate dying for somebody. I said, no, I'm going to live for my brother, my grandma, my brother's kids, my mama. I'm going to live for them because don't nobody talk about that.
Wallow267's message, delivered with raw emotion and deeply personal conviction, offered a powerful alternative to the cycle of retaliation that often defines street conflicts. His heartfelt plea wasn't just for Durk, it was a call to break the generational pattern of violence and choose life, legacy, and family over revenge and destruction. That message resurfaced in February 2025, just months after Lil Durk's arrest on charges tied to allegedly avenging King Von, casting a tragic irony over the situation. Wallow's words cut deeper because they speak to a much larger issue, the ongoing crisis of black men killing each other. In a 2022 interview following Takeoff's death, Wallow voiced his heartbreak and frustration with intra-community violence. If a black man kills me, you're going to hear my scream until life ends for everybody. His raw vulnerability and honest reflection shine a light on the pain and urgency behind his advocacy. Durk's arrest lands heavy not just because of the nature of the charges, but because of how far he had come. From surviving the streets of Chicago to winning a Grammy for Best Melodic Rap Performance. In February 2024, for All My Life with J. Cole, he was at the peak of his career. That meteoric rise, followed so quickly by serious federal charges, raises tough questions about the grip of street loyalty, even after reaching mainstream success. But beyond the legal drama, there's a very real human cost. Durk is a father of 7, and his arrest has clearly impacted his family. His 11-year-old son Zayden publicly defended him, highlighting Durk's contributions to the community and calling for people to remember his innocence until proven guilty. The emotional toll on his loved ones underscores the ripple effects of these street wars that go far beyond headlines and courtrooms. There were signs that the beef might have been cooling off. In September 2024, a video emerged of Quando Rondo saying he was ready to dead the feud with Durk, pointing to their shared Muslim faith. "I love a lot of brothers for the sake of Allah," Rondo said, suggesting a desire for peace. But just a month later, Durk was arrested in connection with a plot targeting Rondo's circle, showing that while individual voices may want peace, the conflict itself remains unresolved. The media's role in all this also can't be ignored. Critics have called out platforms that push diss tracks and violent content for clicks and streams, feeding into real-life drama. Some DJs, like DJ Dusky, have started removing violent Ds records from rotation in an attempt to de-escalate tensions, prompting conversations about responsibility in how beefs are amplified. Ultimately, Durk's case is about more than just one artist's choice. It reflects a bigger systemic struggle. The cycle of violence, incarceration, and revenge is fueled by deep-rooted issues like Trump, poverty, limited opportunities, and the normalization of conflict as a way to solve problems. None of this excuses the actions in question, but it does provide critical context. Wallow 267's emotional plea speaks directly to that reality, acknowledging how hard it is to break free from these cycles when they're woven into the very fabric of life in under-resourced communities.
So it's deep. We tell these kids a lot of things. And all we do is criticize young black male every way possible. We criticize them as much as possible, but we don't bring no resources. You know how many people make money off of just criticizing us and talking down on not just us as black people, but they don't got no. Okay, you criticize me. You got all these gigantic platforms. What we doing is cool, Shannon, but you got huge media platforms, but they just want to tear the people down in the black community, but they ain't coming up with no solution and they ain't bringing no funding.
This perspective pushes us to see beyond just one person's downfall and instead confront the deeper systemic issues fueling these destructive cycles. It calls for real long-term solutions that get to the root of the problem, not just quick fixes that address the surface. For Durk's fans and the wider hip-hop community, his case is a sobering reality check. These beefs aren't just lyrical battles or internet drama. They can lead to real loss, lives taken, families broken, and bright futures cut short. The impact of this tragedy goes far beyond Durk. It includes the family of Savia Robinson and others caught in the deadly aftermath of these ongoing feuds. With Durk now awaiting trial in October 2025, his situation serves as a stark reminder of how fast everything can change. Even after hitting major milestones like a Grammy win and reaching mainstream success, old decisions and street ties can come back to haunt you. His story stands as a cautionary tale for other artists walking a similar tightrope between fame and the streets. It shows the high cost of revenge and the urgent need to find new, non-violent ways to resolve conflict. In one particularly powerful moment from a past interview, Wallow 267 drops advice that hits especially hard now. His words, rooted in experience and love for the culture, feel like they were meant for situations just like Durk's a call to break the cycle before it's too late.
You just rap some songs, right? I'm telling you, went in the studio, rap some songs. You got that publishing money. You got a bunch of money. It depends on your deal structure. You got all that tour money. You got 10, 15 million in the bank. I think it's about time to start being a man. I think it's about time to start being I'm just being real because, I'm not the one designed and I'm not built like that to tell you some bullshit. Shannon, to say be tough.
This straight up no sugarcoating advice challenges the idea that street credibility should ever come before freedom, success, and the ability to take care of your family. It's a perspective that puts life and legacy above temporary validation that too often comes at the cost of everything that really matters. As we wrap up this deep dive into Lil Durk's current situation, we're left with a complex, layered picture, one of undeniable talent, unwavering loyalty, escalating conflict, and real-world consequences. Durk's case is a stark reflection of how high you can rise through artistic expression, and how far you can fall when the codes of the street clash with the rules of the law. It's a reminder that behind every headline and courtroom update, there are real people dealing with the pain, pressure, and fallout of these choices. Durk's story is more than just a legal battle. It's a human story about cycles that are hard to break even when you've made it out. Right now, Durk is being held at MDC Los Angeles, but he's far from alone.